Okay, let us start our formal class. All of you are ready? Hello. So far, 12,
Yes, sir.
12 student join with us. Okay, no problem. So we can start. Okay. So I think those who come from business background, that means BBA, after completing BBA, you enter the MBA program. You know job order costing, isn't it? And those who are new, that means non-business background, and but this is new for you, but this is a basic course, okay, for MBA program. This is common core course, that's why we have to cover all the issue about managerial accounting. Okay, let us start our theoretical part of job order costing first. After that we will start theoretical part of activity based costing. Okay, first of all, in this chapter, are you here with are you hear my voice clearly, or is there any problem? Hello, can you confirm me?
Sir, boss, no problem, sir.
No problem. Okay, thank you. So in this chapter, we will learn compute predetermined overhead, apply overhead cost to job using predetermined overhead rate, compute the total cost and the unit product cost a job using a planward determined overhead rate, compute the total cost and the unit product cost of a job using multiple determine overhead rates. Okay, normally we will just complete 1 2 3. Okay, first of all, what is job order costing? Who can, if you have an idea, please you can share with me. Job order costing, any idea about job order costing? No idea. Bahlul, do you have any idea? Or Monos? No idea. Hello, are you there? Bahlul, Manas, or any others? Tabassum Islam, Aisha Siddiqui, Shanta Chaudhuri, Sadia Trina, Abdullah bin Noor, Mahfuzur Rahman. Mahfuz, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Are you from business background or non-business background? I think you are non-business background, isn't it? No idea. Okay, no problem. We can discuss. But I think Bahalul or Manoj have the idea, but they are not responding. So what is job order costing? Okay. Job order costing is used in situation where many different products. Okay. So this is the first line. Job order costing is used in situation where many different products, each with the individual and unique features, are produced each time. So this is the definition of job order costing, and we have to explain this definition. So job order costing. Okay. This. So what is job order costing? Job order costing is used in situation where many different products, each with individual and unique features, are produced each period. Can you give an example? That means job order costing is a such type of costing where many different products for produced, many different products produced at a time, understand, and each with individual and unique features, each with individual and unique features, this is important, each with individual and unique features are produced each period. Say for example, Autobi furniture company, they produce so many products, isn't it, so many products at a time. And if one customer, say for example, IOBAT is a one of the customer, they order 500 chair and table with special requirement or special design. And if this I am sorry, ought to be accept IOBT's order, and the ought to be need to purchase special type of raw material, then they employ labor, and they determine the overhead cost, and they determine the total cost, total manufacturing cost, and after that unit cost. So at the same time, if another company, another institution, say for example Daffodil University, they also give the order about some chair or table with different type of features or design, then they also purchase for daffodils as per daffodils requirements and specification, they purchase raw material, and then employ labor and or machine, and then they produce for that type of special requirements product and deliver to the customer, specific customer. So in job order costing, customer is very different here. Some customers from, say for example, China. China produce so many products. They produce as per order from Bangladeshis businessmen. They produce as per order Europe countries businessmen. They produce as per order from American countries businessmen, and they are different quality, different material, different employee or laborers or machine, different overhead, and they if they produce that product and deliver to that customer, particular customer, with the profit, it is called job order costing. Are you understand it? Got it? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Are you
yes, sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
So what is job order costing? Job order costing means if a manufacturing company produce different type of product at a time for different customers requirement and specification. So they consider one customer one order. Understand? Not whole customer one order. They consider one customer one order, and particularly that customer, they calculate or they maintain the accounts. That means for their cost of direct material, for cost of direct labor, for cost of manufacturing overhead. After that, they determine total manufacturing cost and add some profit, and then they sell it or provide deliver it to the customer as per customer's requirement. Okay. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So they give example for Levi Strauss cloth in factory would typically make many different type of jeans for both men and women during a month. Particular order might consist 1000 boat cut men's blue denim jeans style number A312. The order is 1000. This is called a job. It is a job. Particulars customers requirement, that means quantity, color, then specification, then design, special design. If they accept it, then it is a called job. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So the the job cost. Okay, the average cost per unit is also referred as the unit product cost. We will determine unit product cost. So you now you can understand the what is job order costing. Now we'll go on example job order costing and example. Okay, then you can understand more explicitly. Okay. So we already know direct material, direct labor, manufacturing overhead. We already discussed it earlier. You know, measuring direct material cost, how to measure. Then this is material requisition form for job order costing. Okay, material requisition number, there is a specific number, date, job number to be charged. This is the job number. Then department, then they purchase this description, housing quantity to unit, then contractor. Then this is direct material requisition form. Okay, then this is job cost sheet. Job cost means job number, this 2B47, and then March department mailing. Okay, unit completed. So direct material for requirement requisition number 14873, amount 660, direct labor 90. Okay, this is for job, and then this is the form. This is one of the form. Okay, then labor cost. So labor cost depends on time tickets. Depends on time tickets or labor charge that cannot be easily specifically are treated as a part of manufacturing overhead. So in for labor cost, the how many time, how many hours laborers employ for particularly manufactured that particular product, then depending on this, they calculate the total labor cost. How many laborers are worked there for produce that particular product. Okay, so this is the most company like computer system maintaining employee ticket time. Okay, employee completed time ticket. Okay, and hour by hour summary of the employee's activity throughout the day. Okay, so this is the employee ticket, time ticket. So employee, say for example, employee on Mary Holder, the ticket, and then they started 7 and end 12, completed 5 hours, and rate is 18, amount 90. Okay, this is, and this is job 2B47, and he started for job 240, and he started 12:30, that's a Mary Holder, and ended 2:30, completed to rate is $18.36. This is for job 2B47, and particular job how many hours they engaged. Okay, and the multiply by rate. Okay, hello.
Yes, sir.
Now we know what is job order costing. Now how to compute the predetermined overhead rate. What is predetermined overhead rate? Can you explain why it is necessary? Hello. Predetermined overhead rates. Because For manufacturing cost, there are three parts, isn't it? Direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Okay. For manufacturing cost, how total manufacturing cost, there are three components, isn't it? Direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. So manufacturing overhead, so we can compute direct material for specific job, how much money need for direct material, we can compute, no problem. We can also compute the direct labor amount. That means how many labor, how many hours they engage for a particular job, and the multiplied by the rate, we can determine direct labor cost also. But problem is manufacturing overhead, because in job order costing system, for say for example, for 1 month they produce 3 4 5 job, same factory, same space, they use same space, and there are common costs. There's electricity for every job, this same electricity, water, then supplies maybe, then gas maybe. So there are some common costs, and how to determine these common costs to the specific job, this is the problem, isn't it? Do you have are you understand the problem? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So problem is, if you produce, say for example, what to be company, they have 5 customer at a time, they give the order. Okay, and the same factory, employer use same factory, but this manufacturing overhead cost. So what are those manufacturing overhead costs? Except direct material and direct labor, all the costs incurred to produce a product for a particular period is called manufacturing overhead. It may be the indirect material, indirect labor, then then factory utility cost, then supplies, depreciation. Say for example, same machine, but they use, and the how much depreciation they charge for particular job, or job A or job B, job C. This is difficult, isn't it? And they have to assign correct or near correct amount for manufacturing overhead to the particular job, isn't it? That's why we use this predetermined overhead rates. Are you got this?
Yes, sir.
So what is now, how to compute this predetermined overhead rate? We have to understand, or we have to know the formula. Okay. We already know manufacturing overhead is an indirect cost. What are the direct costs? Direct material and direct labor. These are two are the direct cost, and manufacturing overhead is an indirect cost, isn't it? You know it.
Yes, sir.
And manufacturing overhead consists of many different type of costs, ranging from the grease used in machine to the annual salary of the production manager. Some of these costs are variable overhead, and because they are very direct proportion of the change. So some direct manufacturing overhead costs, some are variable, some are fixed, isn't it? So many companies have large amount of fixed manufacturing overhead, therefore their total manufacturing overhead costs tend to remain relatively constant. Okay, now how to compute predetermined overhead rate? The formula is predetermined overhead rate is equals to estimated total manufacturing overhead cost. Say for example, for one period, 1 month or 6 months or 1 quarter or 1 year, you have to determine or estimate, not actual. This is estimated, planned total manufacturing overhead cost divided by estimated total amount of allocation base. We know total estimated total manufacturing overhead cost. Say, for example, to produce one particular product on furniture, for say, for example, table, for one customer, they order table, 5 table or 10 table, whatever it. So for 5 or 10 tables, so you need how much money for manufacturing overhead you have to estimate it total. Okay. But problem is that you cannot estimate it for particular there's 10 tables overhead because at a time there may be other customers order, they order for another 5 special type of table, so they are also same overhead incurred. That's why you have to estimate total manufacturing overhead cost for all the product, all the job for a one period. One period means for 1 month, for quarter, or half year, or year. Okay. All of you understand?
Yes, sir.
For say, for example, for that particular 1 month, manufacturing overhead cost maybe 10,000 taka for all 1 month, or 6 months it may be the 60,000 taka in this way. Okay, now you have to divide the total amount of allocation base. Now what is allocation base? Do you know what is allocation base? Okay, an allocation base is a measure such as direct labors or machine hours that is used to assign overhead cost to product and services. So allocation base. So we need a base, isn't it, to assign overhead cost. We need a base. A base is either direct labor hours. That means in earlier we estimate our total labor cost and we know the how many hours they use to produce one particular job. That's why you can use this is estimated. Okay, direct labor hours as a allocation base. Labor hours, say for example 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours. Okay, hello.
Yes, sir.
Or
Yes, sir.
machine hours. Machine hours is instead of labor, you can use all our machines nowadays for modern manufacturing. They use instead of labor, they use machine. That means untouched automatic automation. That means it is for robotic system. So material directly input the machine, then they process, and after that they yeah, up to the packaging and delivering, they do all the things, isn't it, for machine. In that case you have to use machine hour. Understand the how many hours used for how many hours machine work. Okay. Okay, also understand. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So you should respond. Okay, if you face any problem to understand, you can respond. Okay, so there are either machine hour or labor hours will be the our allocation days. Okay. So this is the formula. In this, by this formula, that means overhead rate equals to estimated total manufacturing overhead cost divided by estimated total amount of allocation base. Allocation base may be the direct labor or maybe the direct as machine hours. Okay. So now how to determine this total manufacturing overhead cost? You can use this formula. We already explained it in the high-low method, isn't it? Y equals to A plus B X, isn't it? Y, what is the Y? Y is total estimated total manufacturing overhead cost. This is total manufacturing overhead cost equals to A is for fixed manufacturing overhead cost, B for estimated variable manufacturing cost per unit, and X is estimated total amount of allocation base. It may be the machine hour or labor hour. Understand? If you add this fixed cost and the variable cost, then it is our total manufacturing cost. Okay. Now, last of all, applying manufacturing overhead. Here you determine the predetermined overhead rate. You just determine predetermined overhead rate. After determining pre-overhead rate, you can apply this rate to the particular job. Okay. That means pre-overhead applied to particular job equals to predetermined overhead rate. We already determined, multiply amount of allocation base incurred by the job. Okay, say for example, if predetermined overhead rate is 20 per direct labor hour, say for example, our predetermined overhead rate is 20. Predetermined overhead rate is 20 per direct labor hour. Okay. Say for example, this is example. Then $20 overhead cost is applied to a job for each direct labor hours incurred for the job. When the allocation base is direct labor hours, our formula becomes overhead equal to particular actual direct labor hours. So if it is the base is direct labor hour, then you can use allocation base for direct labor hours. Okay. So in this way, we can compute the manufacturing overhead cost. Are you understand the how to determine the manufacturing overhead cost? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now this is theoretical part. This is all about the theoretical part of job order costing. If I give you an example relating job order costing, you will understand clearly. Okay. So that's why I give you one example which is solved here. Okay. For job order costing, and after that we will discuss the activity based costing. Okay, this is an example. Review problem, calculated unit product cost using job order costing. Okay. Now we'll give you one real example, real problem from extracted from the business. Okay. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Only Bahalul response. What about others? No response from others. Say for example, Aisha Siddiqui. Then Ali. Where is Ali? Ali, are you there?
Yes, yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, why are you not response? You are very talented, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But why are you not response? You can response. Okay. Then Shanta Choudhury, Sadia Trina. All of you understand, or I'll proceed for example or not? Yeah, if you need more explanation, theoretical explanation, I can explain. Or if you understand, then I will go for review problem. Okay. I think if you know how to solve this problem, you can understand job order costing. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So we'll go for review problem. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So Red Hawk Company has two manufacturing departments. One is called assembly department, another is fabrication department. So Red Hawk Company, two manufacturing department, one is assembling, another is fabrication. Okay, one department they assemble, another department they fabric. Okay, the company considers all of its manufacturing overhead costs to be fixed costs. So they consider all its manufacturing overhead costs are fixed. There is no variable manufacturing overhead cost. All are fixed cost for this company. The first set of data shown below is based on estimated that were made beginning of the year. Okay, the first set of data shown below is based on estimated data, planned data that were made at the beginning of the year and expected total output. Okay, the second set of data related to particular job during the year job A20. That means this is first set of data, and this is second set of data for particular job, which is job A200. Okay, for first set of data, this is data for beginning of the year for the expected total output. Okay, manufacturing overhead estimate is it is estimated. Okay, estimated. So total manufacturing overhead estimated cost for manufacturing overhead is for assembly department $3 lakh, and for fabrication $4 lakh, total $7 lakh. Okay. Direct labor hours for assembly department 25,000 hours and fabrication 15,000 hours. Total 40,000 hours. Machine hours 10,000 for assembling and fabrication for 50,000. Total 60,000. Okay. So this is estimated data. That means planned data. Now come to the job A200 specific job. That means job order costing. Direct material for assembling for job A20, it requires $110. Direct labor for fabrication, it requires 50, total 160. Direct labor for assembling department, it requires $70. And fabrication, $45, total 150. Direct labor hours for assembling department, this is 10 hours. For fabrication department, 2 hours, and total 12 hours. Machine hours, assembling 1 hours, fabrications 7 hours, and the total 8 hours. Okay, this is the information. Now required, what to do? The problem, what is the problem? Problem is if Red Hawk uses predetermined plant-wide overhead rate with direct labor hours. So we already discussed how to determine predetermined overhead, isn't it? So if Red Hawk uses predetermined plant-wide overhead rate with direct labor hours as the allocation base, how much manufacturing overhead cost will be applied for job 100 to 100? Okay, that means we already discussed the theoretical part, how to determine predetermined plant-wide overhead rate. Now we discussing how to determine plant-wide overhead rate from a real problem. That means by example. Okay, first of all, we will solve number A. That means how much manufacturing overhead would be applied to job 100 to 100. Okay, we already know direct material amount, direct labor amount. We only need manufacturing overhead, isn't it? Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
Please response. Okay. So now we just determine manufacturing overhead cost for job A200. Okay. Hello.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. How to do it? First of all, you have to you have to use this predetermined overhead rate formula. We already discussed the formula. What is the formula? Predetermined overhead rate equals to estimated total manufacturing overhead cost. At first, you have to determine the estimated total manufacturing overhead cost. From where? From the here. Okay, estimated data. Now, estimated total amount of allocation base. Say, for example, they already mentioned the allocation base is direct labor hours. Okay, direct labor hours. So, your allocation base is direct labor hour. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, very
Sir.
good. So, estimated total manufacturing overhead, how much? 7 lakh total, isn't it? This is estimated overhead cost, 7 lakh. Just write this 7 lakh here. Okay. Now, estimated total amount of allocation base. Allocation base is direct labor hours. We know that direct labor hours is 40,000. Okay. Just divide 7 lakh dollar to 40,000 direct labor hours. So, this is our predetermined overhead rate is 17.50 direct labor hour. Per hour for manufacturing cost rate is 17.50. Now, if A200, how many hours it requires to complete the A200 order? 12 direct labor hours. How? This job A120 direct labor hours, 12 hours. So, now you have to multiply this 17.50 multiplied by 12 direct labor hours. So total 210 of overhead applied for $210 overhead applied for job 200. Okay. We know the overhead rate here 210. All of you understand how to determine overhead
Yes.
cost for
Yes, sir.
job A200.
Yes, sir.
All of you got this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now, number 2. If Redhawk uses predetermined departmental overhead rate with the direct labor hours as the allocation base, so if now departmental overhead rates, because there are 2 departments, one is assembly department, another is fabrication department. Now they use first one, that is number 1, they use total, not departmental, total. Now, if Redhawk uses predetermined overhead rate with the direct labor hours as the allocation base in assembling and machine hours as the allocation base in fabrication. Now, there are two allocation base for departmental. For direct labor hours, base is assembling department and machine hour base is fabrication department. So this is fabrication department. Okay. So first assembling department, they use, because they are all are labor, they use assemble the product. That's why it is they use direct labor hour for their base. But in fabrication, machine are fabrics. That's why they use machine hour as a allocation base for departmental allocation base. So, how much total manufacturing overhead cost would be applied for? Now, if you use 2 different allocation base, first of all, direct labor hours for one department and machine hour for another department, then what will be the total manufacturing overhead cost? The same job, that means A200. Just number 2. So now you have to calculate or compute 2 different depreciation overhead rate, because our allocation base is different. First, assembling department allocation base is direct labor hours, isn't it? So formula is predetermined overhead rate equals to, this is for assembling department, mind it, this is for only assembling department. Estimated total manufacturing overhead cost divided by estimated allocation base. Allocation base is direct labor hours. So estimated total direct labor hours is 3 lakh. How? This 3 lakh. Assembly. Estimated manufacturing overhead cost is 3 lakh. So here they use 3 lakh. Okay. Now estimated total amount of allocation base for specifically assembling departments allocation base. This is direct labor. Okay. Now we go assembling department direct labor assembling 25,000. Okay. This is 25,000. The rate is 12 per direct labor hours for assembling department. Now, what is the fabrication department? Same formula, but you can use the fabrication department's manufacturing overhead cost. This is 4 lakh. Fabrication. This is 4 lakh. Okay, and direct labor hours is 15,000. Okay, 4 lakh divided by estimated 50,000 machine hour. How is it possible? 50,000. Sorry, this is machine hour, 50,000. This is labor and this is machine hour. You got the difference because for fabrication department, base is machine hour. That's why this is 50,000. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Okay, sir.
Now 4 lakh divided by 50,000, rate is 8 per machine hour. Now we have to compute that manufacturing overhead cost for a 200. Okay, manufacturing overhead applied to job is for assembling department 12 per direct labor hours, actual hours used 10 hours. How to get this number 10 hours? It is information is given. This 10 hours, direct labor hours, 10 hours for assembling department. Okay. Now, what is the their total is 10, 120. For fabrication department, 8 per this we computed here. Okay, 8. Okay, now actual hours used 7 hours. 7 hours. How we get this? This is machine hours, 7 hours for fabrication. Okay, now multiply by 7 hours. This is 56. Total 176. So first one, our total overhead cost was 210. If you use only one total, if you use as a total and direct labor hours as a base, but in departmental, your manufacturing overhead is 176. That means this is less than previous, isn't it? Previous one 210, and but next one, that means for departmental overhead, if you use departmental overhead rate, it is 176. So in this way, you can reduce your cost, because if you use total as a base, direct labor, your overhead cost is 210, is higher. But if you use departmental overhead rate for labor and the manufacturing machine, then it is 176. This is much less, isn't it? Hello, you got this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now number 3 is assume that Redowac uses departmental overhead rates. That means if the Redowac uses department overhead rates, number two, okay, mentioned in number requirement 2, and that job A 200 includes 50 units. If the job order number is 50 units, then what is the unit product cost for job A 200? Now you have to determine the unit product cost. Unit product cost means you have to add direct material, direct labor, and obviously manufacturing overhead. If you add these 3 things, direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead, then you can determine unit product cost. Okay. Now number 3. So job 120, direct materials. So 160. How we get this information? It is given. Okay. Direct materials 160. Okay. Direct labor 115. Direct labor 115. Okay. Now manufacturing overhead. Manufacturing overhead is for assembling 100. If you use departmental manufacturing overhead, then for departmental manufacturing overhead, unstable. Are you hear my voice? Hello.
Yes, sir. But
Okay. So departmental overhead rate, your manufacturing overhead is 150 for assembly department, assembly 150, this, sorry, 120, 120, this one, 120 for assembling, and fabrication 56. This is the total 176. If you add these three things, 451. So number of unit for 50, if you divide it 451 to 50, then your unit product cost is 9.02. All of you got this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Any
Yes,
problem?
sir.
Any problem? If you have any problem to understand this problem, you can ask me. This is the job order costing. In this way, you can determine unit product cost using job order costing. Okay. There are another type of costing which is called process costing. We'll discuss. But before we job order costing and the activities costing, that means it may include it in your midterm. Okay. After that, we will discuss another things, master budget, process costing, maybe. Okay.
Sir,
Manos,
herein, I mean, unit cost.
sorry.
Unit, herein, I mean, unit product cost. So, how could be different calculation for
Unit
unit?
product cost,
Yeah.
unit product cost 9.02, right? What is your problem? What is your question?
I mean, how should I need to calculate to get this one?
How?
Should I need to calculate to get this one?
How should?
I mean, how should I need to calculate to get this one?
Together. So, no, I didn't got your point. How is your question?
I said, how should I need to calculate to get this answer for 9.02?
How should I calculate this answer? But means this, why you calculate this?
Total job cost divided number of unit job cost is divided 50.
Okay, the formula. So this is 451 is our total job cost, and they given the number of product here. That means 50. So assume that then and job include 50 units. So if you divide, this is total cost. If you divide the unit, then you can get this unit product cost 9.02. Okay,
Okay, sir.
this is your problem or not?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then your class end 11:30.
35.
11:35. Okay, so we have another 30 minutes, so we can discuss the activities costing for theoretical part only. Okay. Because today just online class, I will discuss on or we can complete first job order costing, then we can go activity costing, isn't it? It's better for you. What do you think? If you understand math here, that means in online, I can proceed job order costing. Sorry, I can complete job order costing. But if you have problem, then I can do it in person. That means in next class at whiteboard. Okay,
Sir, let's go with the theory. It's better, I guess.
let's go
With theories.
theories. Okay, that activities costing. Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you. Uh, we'll do solve some exercise from this book. Okay. My net is slow now, I think. I can go. Okay. So, activities costing is chapter 7, okay? 343. So this is the problem in online class. Problem is sometimes net works very slow. Okay. So this is activities costing, chapter number 7. Okay. Now I just give you some brief. What is activities costing and how it works? Okay. We already know the job order costing. This is for particular specific job. And how to determine unit product cost for particular specific job order. Now, what about the activities costing? What what is the purpose of activities costing? So, you know, activities costing a tool for a decision making. Okay. So at first, I give you some background regarding activity based costing. We already know that we estimated the predetermined overhead rate, isn't it? But is this estimation is perfectly works, or is this estimation accurately determine the manufacturing overhead cost? What do you think? Because we use only one cost driver or cost base, either manufacturing overhead cost, sorry, either direct labor hours or machine hours. In this way, we determine unit product cost. Do you think this is the proper way, or this is the right way to determine manufacturing overhead cost? Please, from participant, you please give your opinion. What do you think? Is it the proper way to determine manufacturing overhead cost to use one particular cost driver, which is either direct labor hours or machine hours? What do you think? Is it perfect? Ali, are you there? Hello. Monos, can you give your opinion regarding this?
I mean, about this tool, sir.
Yes, my question is, in the job order costing, we use only one cost driver, which is either direct labor hours or machine hours. Do you think it is a proper way to determine manufacturing overhead cost for a particular job or particular product, unit product cost?
As far as I concerned, I guess this is the process to calculate the particle supporting cost.
Is the process is the right process or not? Right, is obviously right process, but if you only use one cost driver, that means
No,
direct labor, there may be other cost driver also,
so we can go with the many process.
many cost driver, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then it will more accurate
Yes, sir.
overhead cost, isn't it? All of you
Yes, sir.
got this? All of you got this? Hello, Shanta Choudhury, Sadia Trina, Mahfuzur Rahman, Bahadul Alam. All of you got this? That means
Yes, sir.
in activity-based costing, it is also about the manufacturing overhead cost, because we have nothing to do for direct material and direct labor. Okay, direct material as it is, cost, job order costing or any other costing, same. You cannot change it, because you know how many unit you produce and how much amount you need for direct material. Direct labor, same. You know how many hours workers are work and how many amount you have to pay. But problem is manufacturing overhead. In manufacturing overhead, why this problem arise? Because for a particular factory, this manufacturing overhead is common. Say, for example, electricity. If you use so many products at a time, and how much amount you assign for this electricity for that particular product. For, say, for example, for depreciation, for supplies, for indirect labor, material, or you can say for utilities, say, for example, water, then or rent of the factory. Particularly, how much amount the portion of factory rent will assign that particular job. This is difficult. That's why at first we estimated in job order costing, estimated at predetermined overhead rate. We determined that means total manufacturing overhead, estimated total manufacturing overhead cost divided by allocation base. We determine the rate and then we apply that rate to particular job. This is the process in job order costing. But in activity-based costing, process is the same, no problem. But here the difference is we use more than one cost driver. Say, for example, for assembling department and for assembling department, we use two. One is called machine hours, another and for fabrication department use direct labor. This is two cost driver. We can use more than two cost drivers. Say, for example, the as part of the assemble, the number of part, then quality assurance, the number of product we pass the quality. So this is, we use different type of cost driver rather than one cost driver. Okay, in the activity based costing. Okay, hello, all you got this? All of you got
Yes,
this?
sir. Yes, sir.
That means here we segregate our cost driver in different part, depend on activity. That's why it is called activity of the manufacturing process. Activity of the manufacturing process, we use more than one cost driver. For example, if I go directly as the example, okay, this edition, that example is missing. Okay, this, okay, is assign our cost to cost of this. So direct material we can trace easily and determine the direct material cost for the product, isn't it? Direct labor is also we can trace and we can determine the unit product cost. But problem is, and shipping cost, but problem is manufacturing overhead cost, manufacturing and non-manufacturing cost. So first of all, say for example, manufacturing overhead cost, we divide it into different cost drivers. Say for example, activities, different activity, according to different activities, customer order, that means number of order. According to number of order, we assign the manufacturing overhead cost. Okay. So for example, product design, per design, we divide it into different cost driver. This is that means per order is one driver, per design is another driver, and order size per machine hour here. Order size depends on per machine hour. This is another cost driver. Customer relations per customer. In this way, we segregate our manufacturing overhead cost into different cost driver according to their activity. Okay, and then we assign this cost to the cost object, that means product. Okay, you got this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
That means here direct material and direct labor is same. There is no problem. Problem is manufacturing overhead, because manufacturing overhead cost, we cannot accurately assign that particular manufacturing cost to the particular product, particular job. That's why if we segregate according to the activities, then it will be more accurate. It will be more accurate manufacturing overhead cost to be assigned to the particular job. Okay, that's why we use activity-based costing for assignation of manufacturing overhead cost. This activities costing is only for manufacturing overhead cost, not for because direct material nothing to do, direct labor nothing to do. Only you can do, that means you can manipulate, or you can use your special consideration for manufacturing overhead to reduce. If you manage your manufacturing overhead cost or reduce manufacturing overhead cost, it will be your advantage. It will be the competitive advantage, because I already given you one example in my earlier class, that for China, they also they also produce, and we also produce in Bangladesh. But Chinese cost, same thing. Chinese cost is 1 taka, but in that, but if we manufacture that same type of product in Bangladesh, our manufacturing cost will be 5 taka or 2 taka, isn't it? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
That means we cannot manage our manufacturing overhead cost here. We cannot manage manufacturing overhead cost. So in even China, they can offer taka 10 a toy. If you manufacture same toy in Bangladesh, it requires 20 taka. Because there is another consideration is availability of the cheap direct material, availability of cheap labor, and the manipulation, or exactly to determine the manufacturing overhead cost. What do you think? If China offer 10 taka a toy, they have no profit there? What do you think? They also getting the profit, low profit, but if they sell in mass production, then their cost is lowering, and if they produce mass production, then their production cost will reduce, and if they sell mass with different countries, then their profit also increase, isn't it? Well, hello, all of you got this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now activities costing and overview. Understand activity was cost. What is the active okay, we already discussed. Traditional costing system is designed to provide data for extra. Okay, activities costing main difference is in traditional costing we use only one cost driver, either direct material, either machine hours or labor hours. But in activities costing we use more than one cost drivers depending on the activities. Okay, that means activities of that particular product cost, manufacturing overhead cost. Okay, so in manufacturing costing, manufacture or non-manufacturing as well as manufacturing cost can be assigned to the product, but only on cause and effect basis. Only one cause and effect basis. That means the cost for the cost, what is the cost? That means this is the cost for incur cost for non-manufacturing cost. Then what is effect is you have to determine the your new cost driver. Okay, some manufacturing costs maybe they excluded from the product cost. Numerical overhead cost pools are used. So here your cost pools are numerals. Each of these allocated to product and other cost object. Okay. If I go for example, okay, you know what is cost pools? Hello? You know what is cost pool?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Okay, designing activities cost ABC system. Okay. Okay, define activity cost pools. What is cost pools? Activity cost pool. In implementing activity costing, there are 5 steps. First of all, you have to define activities, activity cost pool, and activity measure. It is for only manufacturing overhead cost. Okay. Then assign overhead cost to activity cost pools, calculate activity rates, then assign the overhead cost to the cost object, then prepare management report. These are the 5 steps. Now, first step, you have to define the activities. Okay. Then activity cost pools and the activity measure. Okay. So activity cost pool. These are the activity cost pool. Customer orders. For say, for example, you just estimate that for customer order, you need to spend 5 lakh taka. So if you segregate these 5 lakh taka for customer order in one place, this is called cost pool. For product design, you have the budget. For order design, order size, you have the budget. Customer relations, you have the budget and the others. So if you budget, you determine your budget for customer orders and segregate that amount. This is called cost pool. That means accumulate the cost. Cost pool means here accumulate the cost. And activity measure is, say for example, customer order. Activity measure is number of customer orders. So if you say for example, for customer order you accumulate 5 lakh taka and number of customer orders. So your customer order is 5. Then you can determine your how much amount you need to allocate for 5 customer orders. This is called activity measure. For product design, this is number of product design. Then machine order size, machines hours. Customer relation, number of active customers. So in this way, we can allocate cost for particular job. That means this is our cost driver. Okay, you know the cost pools and activity measure. Okay. Second step is to assign overhead cost to activity cost pool. Now you have to, that means for indirect manufacturing factory wages, you have 5 lakh taka, factory equipment depreciation, you have 3 lakh taka, factory utilities 1,20,000 taka, factory buildings lease total 80,000, total 10 lakh taka or 1 million for non-manufacturing cost. Okay. Total manufacturing overhead cost is total 18 lakh 10,000. General administrative cost and marketing total is 18 lakh 10,000. Okay. Now how to assign, that means really Now you have to calculate the activity rates. How to determine activity rates? Say for example, your activity cost plus customer orders. Okay, is taka is 3 lakh. Your total customer orders taka is 3,20,000. Your activity is 1,000 order. If you divide these 3,20,000 taka divided by 1 lakh, this is your activity rate. 3,20,000. That means it is activity rate, or you can say it is a cost driver. 3,20,000, which is variable. Which is variable. You understand this? How to compute the activity rates? That means cost pool is customer order, is your total cost is 3,20,000. If you divide then your activities, say for example, your total order is 1,000. If you divide this 3,20,000 divided by 1 lakh, sorry, 1,000, then your activity rate is 320 per order. So per order, if your order is 5, then you can multiply is 320 multiplied by 5, then your total order cost will calculate. Okay. In this way, you can compute the activity rates, product design, order size. This is cost pool and amount, and this is activities, how many activities. Okay. Now, last of all, step 4, assign overhead cost to the cost object. So you have to assign this customer order cost to the particular cost object. That means 3,20,000 taka total customer order, and your 320 per order. So you have to, in this way, you have to allocate your total manufacturing cost for customer order, for product design, for order size, for customer relation. Okay. At last of all, you have to prepare management reports. Management report. So we'll do some problem. If I start problem, you understand better. Okay, this is all theoretical part. You can study it at your home. That means some theoretical part from the book text, and we can discuss it next class. That means for physical class, we will start some solving some problem relating to job order costing and activity based costing, and which is given in my Google lecture sheet for midterms. Okay, this is it's ABC plus job order costing. ABC plus job order costing. Okay, I think time is over, isn't it? Time finished, isn't it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll discuss next class. Okay, thank you everybody. If you have any question, you can ask me.